Ever wondered what makes TV so powerful in Jamaica? Time to find out. Welcome to Global TV Group 358, where television meets innovation. We're not just about shows, we're about shaping society. In Jamaica, TV keeps you informed, connects diverse voices, and supports democracy. Imagine a Jamaica where broadcasters unite, sharing data and collaborating globally. That's us, a unified voice in the TV industry. Did you know TV advertising is still king? It drives website traffic, boosts brand equity, and powers integrated campaigns. Even in an age of digital, TV stands strong, resilient in tough times. Our global TV deck is your treasure trove of insights and data. With charts, graphs, and success stories, it's your guide to impactful TV advertising. Curious to learn more? Visit our website and see how Global TV Group 358 keeps television at the heart of entertainment in Jamaica. Get ready to binge watch the future.
Corruption is a vile disease that sucks and drains the health out of something good. Corruption in society is an evil moral infection that keeps community in a state of perpetual sickness. Corruption is a moral virus. It's so potent, it leaves its host sick, lethargic, and unable to realize and accomplish all that a well person can. Where corruption thrives, poverty and not prosperity thrives. Wealth is grabbed into the greedy, grubby hands of those who get fat on the toil and labor of good people. Corruption benefits, only temporarily, those who participate in it. Everyone else is a victim of the theft, the deceit, the dishonesty, and the lies that corruption feeds on. You need to know that a corrupt person is stealing from you. Corruption is filthy work and despicable acts of treachery done under the table and behind closed doors. Corruption is a disgusting shame. Corruption keeps a nation back from true development and from progress. Wise investors steer clear of a corrupt environment. They would rather put their resources into a place where the playing field of opportunity is equal for all and not bent towards feeding the financial lust of corrupt, lying, cheating, thieving politicians and government officials. How many wonderful development projects have been lost because the investors didn't want to do business in a swamp of evil? When those great projects go to another nation or to some other place, we all lose. Believe me when I tell you that corruption steals from you, it steals from all of us. Corruption plunders the nation's wealth. Corrupt people compromise on truth, equity, and fairness, choosing instead to feed off the short-term benefits of crookedness, exploitation, and financial perversion. Corruption is not just a personal matter, it's a culture. It's a way of life, not just for individual people, but for companies, communities, governments, and nations. Corrupt nations, hiding behind large companies, will seek to invest in other weak nations in order to take over the assets of the nation that they've invested into. They will provide financial loans to a nation for the much-needed infrastructure, and they will do it with assets that they provide. They will sign contracts by lining the pockets of rotten government officials who participate in this kind of corruption and are then held hostage by their own deceit and greed. Corruption is nothing less than a form of theft and national robbery. A corrupt person steals from everyone in society.
Run, keep going on, let's process. For children of Israel do really love rights. So just as I and I as a watching man around Babylonian walls. Oh, children of Israel, I shall never hold thy peace while wrong is going on. Day or night, we gonna bust down Babylon walls. Prepare the way, prepare the way for your people. Let's go. Fight down, war and cry. Fight down, me say Rastafari. War and cry and do the of righteousness. And we love Jah, and we love Jah, Jah, and we love Jah, Jah, Rastafari, save all people. And we love Jah, we love Jah, Jah, Rastafari, we love Jah, Jah, Rastafari, save all people. Put time away again. Listen, yeah. Just as I and I say, watch a man, I run Babylonian walls. Oh, children of Israel, I and I should never hold thy peace, but we penalize. Hey, oh, night. We gonna bust down Babylon gates. Prepare the way, prepare the way for Jah Rastafari. Fight down war and fight down war and fight. Rastafari, war and crime, and build up righteousness. And we love Jah, and we love Jah, and we love Jah, Rastafari, preserve all. And we love Jah, Jah. Me love Jah, Jah, Rastafari. Me love Jah, Jah, Rastafari. Preserve all. Me love Jah, Jah, Rastafari. Jah, Rastafari. Yeah, the next song is going to be the last song for tonight. And then DJ Twin.
Carry go bring come, my dear, bring misery. But anybody if you blame for this, carry go bring come. This time it cannot be the media. It have to be from same place in a parliament. That's all. Because Everett Warmington was the one who came out pushing back on you, Andrew Holness. And then it sparked a national debate. The church, journalists, vlogger, and everybody jump in. So it cannot be that everything we forget the blame for. Time will tell on you, you old Jezebel. I mean, Andrew Holness just don't do things for the nick of it. Andrew Holness dancing with the Maroons. It's certainly something to watch closely because anytime you see bigger people are smile and a dance, are certainly something they are looking for. President of Venezuela and the First Lady today appeared in court in New York and pled not guilty. Good evening and welcome to Global TV. Thank you for joining us this evening. To my community of party and all my family members, platform moderators, membership holders, viewers, subscribers, commenters, and trolls, good evening. Welcome one and all. Thank you for joining us. From Monroe Doctrine to Chump, Smash and Grub Doctrine. Good evening, everyone, and welcome. Thank you all for joining us this evening. Still bitterly cold over here. Nothing to write home about. Ooh, there's literally nothing to write home about. It's still cold outside. Debbie Jarvis TV, good evening and welcome. Charlotte Grime, good evening. Good evening, Monica Wills. Miranda Roddick, good evening. Marcia Thomas, good evening. Colleen, Canadian Gal, good evening, everyone, and welcome. Silent listeners, good evening. Like and share the live for us, please. Thank you all for joining us. When I heard the Prime Minister come out and say, the Prime Minister come out and say, him never say 75 million for help rebuild back church is for clean up. This Prime Minister come look at this police officer Duncan this morning, you know. They open their mouth to save their skin. And when they think that their skin, them a save Liberty Pierce, how you do? More problem. Them a job for themselves. With the Prime Minister, we soon get round to you. In the come say them alarm by the rate of police killing the first few days of the year. In the comes 12 people. 12 people killed by the security forces in the first 5 days of the year. 12 people killed by police in the first 5 days of the year. So judge, no a work again. Prosecutor and defense lawyer, no a work again. The police just do the junk for work. The clean up carcass work. Because them a police here we have in Jamaica. Them not trained for arrest. And them not trained for carry people in front of the court and get a conviction. Because before we go to the Prime Minister, we'll go back to mass policeman. We tell with this morning about the whole heap of man we have shootout with. The whole heap of man we mass policeman have the shootout with. We need to go back to that video. Because we are being made as liars when we pick up on these stories. We are made to be political when we ask the right and well-needed question after people come out and tell us pokey pies. After they come out and them tell us something which it's hard to believe, it's hard to listen to, and then they still expect us to go around and spread it as a good tiding. When you have a police force and a government we're willing to stare into the camera and lie, we're in a danger, you know, because we're never going to be right. We're never going to get to hold them to account because enough of them I do nothing wrong. Enough of them we have political problem. Enough of them we cannot get over the loss of an election. Can't to them they do nothing. Them do the best that them can. When you listen to them, they mark themselves against other big countries in the world and say what they have done since Melissa. Big country couldn't do it. Don't know what they claim so they do anyway. But let's go back to the police because same game Andrew Holness a play with the double up story. Then when we try to figure it out, a problem will be.
Begin this evening with a developing story. There is tension and anger in St. Toulis after 3 men were shot and killed by the police in the community located at the border of Manchester and Clarendon.
Residents are demanding swift investigation from Indicom as they are convinced the police killed the men in cold blood.
However, the police say they seized 3 illegal guns used by the men to challenge them in a gun battle.
Jamila Maitland reports.
Police officers swarm a house in St. Toulis, Manchester on Monday following the fatal shooting of 3 men sometime after midday. According to the police, they were executing a search warrant when they were fired on.
On the approach of the police, a group of men were seen exiting the building with firearms in hand. The police accosted the men who engaged them in a shootout. The police advanced inside the building where they were again engaged by other men inside the premises. The police again returned the fire. At the end of the shooting, 3 men were found suffering from what appeared to be gunshot injuries. All 3 men were immediately taken to the Maypen Hospital, where unfortunately they were pronounced dead.
Residents, however, gave a different account.
And then just drive in the yard and kick off the door and start shoot up over there. And I'm no concern, the youth them no fire a shot or nothing, so then can't see a shootout. You know. You understand? As a police work.
2 firearms were allegedly recovered by the police from the house. Head of the Manchester Police Division,
2 groups of men, yeah, with 2 firearms, 2 separate group of men. One group was leaving the house. Them and the police had a gun battle. We don't know how much out of that group dead. Then the police advanced in the house. I feel Duncan words me I use, you know. The police advanced in the house and engaged in another gun battle with another group that was in the house. The 3 that was killed, officer, where were they killed? In the house or outside in the gun battle? If those in the gun battle outside aren't any of the 3 that was killed, what happened to those? Is there anybody on the run? Because out of 2 group of man, and you only carrying 3. 2 group of men, and you only carrying 3, and you can't tell if nobody else step on the run. 2 group of man using 2 gun. It don't add up. But we're going to go to the Prime Minister. Because me shock. All of this biff for baff and tit for tat are gone. Then when if you tell the lie, you see, then take so long to make up the excuse. When them fi tell the lie, them take so long to make up the excuse. Because Andrew wait till there's a big tit for tat between Everard Warmington and the church, till it become explosive in the media. But other pastors like Pastor Jonathan Hemmings come out and bash them. And you see today now, Andrew come out and do damage control. I mean, as I keep saying, these sort of damage control would have worked in JBC and RGR days. You know them broke down station there? Yeah, JBC and RGR. Them something there wouldn't work. Them type of trying to kill a story, trying to shift the narrative, trying to control the narrative, them story of Prime Minister would have worked in an RGR and JBC days. But when we can play back what is out there, it better you come out and say every Warmington misunderstood or mistake you. It cannot be the media though, because I never the media raised the story. The media Prime Minister, this is Andrew Holness in their compound, dancing for place to mine, because it cannot be anything other than Andrew. I look place for mine. Why? Andrew end up a compound town celebration 2025. Since Chief Curry election in a 2020 or 2021. Andrew Holness has not been to Maroon Town until the disgrace what we're seeing go cast where they him and Babsy and his security them. All of a sudden, 2026, January 6th, Andrew Holness turn up at a compound town. No, sir. Something in a something. Well, what can you say about well? And in a sense, when somebody would say well, we would have said, how deep is it? Eh? Let's go over to Prime Minister Kanatis. Because I'm just seriously shame when he sit down and talk this.
Government has made an offer to
not just listen, I mean, I want you to pay attention to Andrew body language and facial expression. Pay attention to the crooks' body language and facial expression.
Government has made an offer to the church. I was following in the media what has been said about the offer. I believe that there is a grave misunderstanding, and this is one of the challenges that we face in modern communication, because communication is done in only snippets. You could rarely go beyond the headline or beyond the first few words that caught your attention to look at the details of the communication. And what we have said is that
it cannot be the media, Prime Minister. It cannot be the media that has a problem. It cannot be a communication problem. The issue, Prime Minister, was raised by a member of Parliament, a member of the ruling Jamaica Labour Party, Prime Minister. This wasn't something by PNP or by the media, Prime Minister. Look inwards. You hear me? So have it out with Mr. Warmington, Prime Minister. I mean, if I told you so much people that on Mr. Warmington's side, why you now come and blame everybody else other than Mr. Warmington? If there's a blame here, Prime Minister, blame Mr. Warmington and make the whole of we have it out. But you can't manage Mr. Warmington and you think so you can't manage we. You think so we not a secret fear. So we are easier target, so you come out and you blame everybody but Mr. Warmington who raised the issue.
Government has made an offer to the church. I was following in the media what has been said about the offer. I believe that there is a grave misunderstanding, and this is one of the challenges that we face in modern communication, because communication is done in only snippets. People rarely go beyond the headline or beyond the first few words that caught their attention to look at the details of the communication. And what we have said is that we're doing a national cleanup exercise right across the island, but particularly in the 5 affected parishes that have been severely damaged. And we have said that we have reserved $75 million out of the total.
Hey, when I call the church them for me tonight, calm yourself down. When I call the church for me tonight, because what Andrew Holnex just explained so on we here, it have to be money laundering between the government and the church. But when Andrew done, I will tell you why. Bunch of crooks.
National cleanup exercise right across the island, but particularly in the 5 affected parishes that have been severely damaged. And we have said that we have reserved $75 million out of the total cleanup fund projected to be used for churches who would like to undertake a cleanup of their property offense. This is not for rebuilding, but there are many churches that are still in that position where they have been able to remove debris from their facilities that have been destroyed.
And the man, me can't wait. When you realize, say, the church them is a separate Jamaica from the one where Melissa coming on, because the government is undertaking a national cleanup campaign. Is the churches not part of the national cleanup campaign? What does national mean? Does anyone know, in the context of governance, what does national mean? When you describe something as national, it means that government is in charge of doing it street by street, lane by lane across the country. I know that it mean. I know that national cleanup campaign mean. If it is that in a national cleanup campaign, I go reverse and make him play the fuckery again. If it is in a national campaign that the Prime Minister not touch the church site them, what happened to the church member them? What happened to the church member them with water boot and shovel and all of that? Jamaicans right across the disaster zone are clean up for themselves. A party walk and do them little clean up themselves. Flight Green plan for send Chuck go clean up Party Beach and all. Yesterday when me I talk to my cousin, I know Flight Green no send the Chuck them to come clean up Party Beach yet. Flight Green turn up on the podium and tell us what to do. So do you understand that the government and the church are planning to launder 75 million away money? The government take up 75 million of free money, give church for just clean up. The government said no, it wasn't for rebuilding, it's for clean up. Does that make it any wara hit clot better? And with money we are talking about, idiots. Idiots. And with money we're talking about where you take a chop in the ear. It doesn't matter what reason you throw up in the ear for idiots. We're talking about a waste of $75 million fool. Fool. Big overgrown fool. Big and good for nothing idiot. We're talking about the waste of $75 million. It don't matter where you waste it on. We're talking about the waste where you waste it. You idiot. So come out and come do damage control and I tell we say and of rebuilding of the cleanup. It make you even fooler. Because me would ask you the question, would the church need $75 million just to clean up for? You money laundering scammer. Make him talk. Make the liar and wicked talk for himself. Raymond, how you do? Make the liar, the thief and wicked. What they are planning to launder $75 million and through Everett Warmington catch him. He come out and come attack we.
Government has made an offer to the church. I was following in the media what has been said about the offer. I believe that there is a grave misunderstanding. And this is one of the challenges that we face in modern communications, because communication is done in only snippets. People rarely go beyond the headline or beyond the first few words that caught their attention to look at the details of the communication. And what we have said is that we're doing a national cleanup exercise right across the island, but particularly in the 5 affected parishes that have been severely damaged. And we have said that we have reserved $75 million out of the total cleanup fund projected to be used for churches who would like to undertake a cleanup of their property or premises. This is not for rebuilding, but there are many churches that are still in that position where they have been able to remove debris from their facilities that have been destroyed. Roofs collapse, walls collapse, and it will take some support to get them to be able to move debris, clean up,
so that they can actually get reconstruction going. So we have made this available of an assessment by the SEC.
All right, Chankro. Why then not give parish council the $75 million between those 5 parish? Divide the $75 million for parish council use to clean up churches. Why should the churches get what money for spend? The church has never given financial accountability to us for the money where they get every week and every day. So you think we're going to get any financial accountability from the church for $75 million? Or we just have pushy give them and tell them, say, it's yours to do what you want to do with it. You just have pushy give them so. And I tell them it's yours to do what you want to do with it. Out of it with tax money, you know. Out of it with insurance money, and out of it with borrow money. The Prime Minister come tell we say, I never say building is for clean up. So don't you think that make it worse? Don't you think that make it worse for we pay $75 million to help clean up church ground and church building after Melissa? So what about the national cleanup campaign? How come the church site? How come the church site, Prime Minister, is not a part of the national Jamaica? How come the church site is not a part of the national Jamaica? And if the church site is not a part of the national Jamaica, why should we cater for them separately? If they're separate to themselves, why should we cater for them financially? This is money laundering, my people. This is money laundering between the church and the government. And that's why the church come out to attack Mr. Warmington and everybody else. So, because this is money laundering. Because if the government put money aside for a national cleanup campaign, the government carry out a national cleanup campaign. And then the government come tell us, now the $75 million is not to help rebuild churches, is for churches to clean up. And you think that makes our money spent better? Is this guy serious? No, we're not telling with Andrew Holness serious. The excuse what the idiot are giving. The excuse what the idiot are give is to say that this is a better excuse of your money than the misinformation that Mr. Warmington came out with. Because Andrew say misinformation or misunderstanding or some misagwania. So let's say how you do. Happy New Year. Misunderstanding agwania. So. But the Prime Minister explanation doesn't make things better, Prime Minister. It better you come down and come out and double down about the building support. Because the building support, Prime Minister, we couldn't possibly say we would see what was $75 million ago, as much as we don't agree with it. But then now for you can't tell we say $75 million. Figure do a church member can go do a daytime, pick up piece, a same thing. The church can rent a truck. The church can rent a bulldozer. The church of money can rent truck. The church of money can rent bulldozer. So what 75 million it a go cost for one truck and one bulldozer, Prime Minister? The church don't need, when it comes to heavy equipment, the church don't need more than a truck and a bulldozer. The church can rent them there for themselves. Probably there are members in a lot of those church have some form of those vehicles they galang in. So I don't see why we fi spend 75 million when we already do a cleanup, a national cleanup campaign. Me not see why we fi spend $75 million, give churches $75 million for do for them own cleanup. And your owners, you prove to it all the while so you don't have no sense. Because I'm sure you'll come out to come make we know say this is a better explanation for the 75 million what we are talking about. What you have not addressed, Prime Minister, is the people of Jamaica lying in squalor since the disaster where you not do nothing about yet, where you not talk about nothing about yet, where you not tell we how we money are going to spend on we yet. And we 8 JPS get, we 8 church get for bill now, you say, enough for bill as we clean up. Prime Minister, this is even worse. Your explanation is even worse. Because you could argue on the value of $75 million when it comes to rebuilding. But for clean up Prime Minister, why should we have to pay so much? 75 million? So what about Prime Minister? All right, what about our party and our Prime Minister? How much we going to get for we clean up? Because the little one with the whole heap still left for do, you know? You're going to give no money for dump up the land them in a way yard won't no mash up. This is why I tell Jamaica people say if you don't wake up, you're not going to lose out on everything. Because when the money come, Andrew Holness are cater to everything and everyone. And Andrew Holness still not sooner yet. All of them down there shouting at the mud and water. And the rub and a wave on a hand. The Prime Minister still not seen her hero no yet.
Government has made an offer to the church. I was following in the media what has been said about the offer. I believe that there is a grave misunderstanding. And this is one of the challenges that we face in modern communications, because communication is done in only snippets. People rarely go beyond the headline or beyond the first few words that caught their attention to look at the details of the communication. And what we have said is that we're doing a national cleanup exercise right across the island, but particularly in the
to the labor writer, the blogger, them where they are look content. Can you hit the like button for us, please?
affected parishes that have been severely damaged. And we have said that we have reserved $75 million out of the total cleanup fund projected to be used for churches who would like to undertake a cleanup of their property or premises. This is not for rebuilding, but there are many churches that are still in that position where they have been able to remove debris from their facilities that have been destroyed. Roofs collapse, walls collapse, and it will take some support to get them to be able to move debris, clean up, so that they can actually get reconstruction going. So we have made this available of an assessment by the SEC. And if churches choose to take it up, they can get in touch with their local STC office. They will come there and do the assessment, and they will say, well, we think a certain amount of funds will be necessary to help you to clean up and get your operations going again. The state couldn't take on the cost of reconstructing churches. So there obviously was some great misunderstanding that what we have offered is a part of the national cleanup exercise. In disasters past, provisions were made for churches to borrow through the NHE. So a fund was made available and the churches were able to borrow at reasonable rates and at reasonable terms. And so that is being developed now as we speak. And the government has had discussions with the various umbrella groups as to how this could be done. So I just wanted to use this opportunity to clarify that what we have offered so far in terms of a grant is to help the churches who need it to clean up their facilities.
First of all, Prime Minister, everything you said there was a lie. Everything, firstly, you said was a lie. And secondly, that really doesn't make it better for our tax money. Rightly so, because I don't know if I have a friend powerful like Andrew Holness more than bother myself. Dennis Chung said he was unbothered about all the nice way I make up say him name qualify enough for the fit job. He wasn't really bothered. I agree with you, Dennis Chung. Dennis Chung, may agree with you because if me have a friend as powerful as Andrew Holness, then it wouldn't matter to me what people is saying about my credentials if Andrew decides to give me a cozy job. It really wouldn't matter to me what people say. So I agree with you on that point. At least you're honest about something, Dennis Chung. But let's look at some of the development in the Maduro case. But I hope the world is watching and see America for what America has always been under all presidents, not just under Donald Trump. All American presidents behave exactly. Oh, these things didn't come through in my studio. All American presidents behave exactly like Donald Trump. The difference is between other American presidents and Donald Trump. There are things that are called diplomatic niceties, which all the other leaders engage with. Donald Trump does not. He doesn't have time for them something there. Them something there is, he just cut straight to the chase. Marcia Gale, make a cut and come to what you said there. Then I go back to Donald Trump. This is the very problem. The Prime Minister busy do all sort of thing them. Children gone back to school in a derelict situation. Children gone back to school and look up in the elements. Children gone back to school in an unsafe building. Children gone back to school under tarpaulin where rain fall. Them wet same where class have to cancel. Children gone back to school across the disaster zone in a deplorable condition. And the government have 2 months to do something. And the government haven't done a thing. The government within 2 weeks, the CRIF money release, within another few weeks, the Catman money release. The government have live access to all of these money that was donated. We have a contingency fund that the government have live access to. And nothing has been done. But the government have put $75 million aside for clean church. Them are wicked people, yeah. Back to Donald Trump. This is one of the things, as brutal as it is turning out, I supported a return of Donald Trump. And let me explain to you why so you don't misunderstand me. I have, for over the last 15 years, I have been in staunch opposition to America. My dream is to live to see the fall of America. I do believe a world without America would have been a much better, peaceful, and much more developed world. I do believe in all of that. Because I have watched keenly from Bill Clinton come right down as presidents of America, watch them closely. I have seen and come to realize that they are a danger to humanity and a danger to the world, all US presidents. The difference between the rest of them and Donald Trump, they all use a thing called diplomatic niceties, which fool a lot of us. They tell a lot of lies dressed up in diplomatic niceties, big speech in the United Nations, big speech in the UN councils, and big speeches in their parliament. And a lot of the time it's based on human rights and democracy and rule of law. I have come to realize for a very long time, especially since the Iraq War, that it's all a lie. This is why when I speak of democracy, I always use the phrase to say, democracy is painted in blood. No, for me, I've always wanted people to see America in the Western Hemisphere, because people in the East and in the Far East, a lot of them understands America for what it is, or America's agenda. For us in the Western Hemisphere, many of us are being blindsided that America is a bastion of democracy. America protects the rule of law. America this and America that. America is a lawless, pariah state, a terrorist country, and a dictatorial regime. All presidents have to follow that line, thereby the whole Monroe Doctrine. Trump is so stupid. Donald Trump is so stupid that he cannot play the game. He just got to be that street gangster, that one who gets on his moped, ride up to the jewel store, use a hammer to smash it, grab as much jewelry as you can, and run off with it. That's the type of person that Donald Trump is. A real street gangster. Or if you go into the animal kingdom, Donald Trump would have been a hyena or a baboon. You know, those type of animal. He's so stupid. He cannot work with the diplomatic niceties. So he have to just do it plain and bare for you to see. And this is my liking in Donald Trump's presidency. I've always wanted America to be exposed for what it is. Don't make up nonsense that Iraq is going to attack us in 45 minutes, so we have to go there. Just tell us it's the oil. Like Donald Trump just said, it's the oil. So you understand what America is about. You no longer think it's because the people of Venezuela are suffering. You no longer think it's because Maduro is a bad person. You no longer think it is because Maduro is allowing people to suffer. It's all because America wants oil. And they're not afraid to say it out in public. Listen to Donald Trump and Miss Graham. This is like a prostitute frowning and frothing over Donald Trump. Listen to Miss Graham.
You just wait for Cuba. Cuba is a communist dictatorship that's killed priests and nuns. They've preyed on their own people. Their days are numbered. We're going to wake up one day, I hope in 26. In our backyard, we're going to have allies in these countries doing business with America, not narco-terrorist dictators killing Americans. This is a big frigging day. And everybody in the world is thinking differently than they were just a few days ago because of what you did.
Cuba is ready to fall. You know?
Yes.
Cuba looks like it's ready to fall. I don't know if they're going to hold out. But Cuba now has no income. They got all of their income from Venezuela, from the Venezuelan oil. They're not getting any of it. And Cuba literally is ready to fall. And you have a lot of great Cuban Americans that are going to be very happy about this.
This is your America. This is the America that the world hold up as something to look at as an example. Otherwise, you want to be turned a butcher. Because if you idolize America, you're aiming to become a butcher, mainly of women and babies. If you're not raping them, you're butchering them. Isn't that what the Americans do? So for me, having Donald Trump at this time, as horrible as it is for the world, it's a good thing for me. The more he goes on, the more America is isolated. The more he goes on, the more the world wake up to the smash and grab, gunboat diplomacy, the street gangster that America has always been. America has never behaved better than Donald Trump. What they normally do to us is dress it up in diplomatic niceties and fool all away and make we think say, and demand the Nazi media. You know how me glad say Donald Trump discredit them for him first term. Then the Nazi media come out and push the narrative and a story to tell we how the dictator they are kill off people, how the people them are suffer, and how this and how that.
Overnight, President Trump reaffirming that the United States is in.
Neither the Christian God nor America that was given to this Western Hemisphere has not benefited this Western Hemisphere. None of the two. Neither America nor the Christian God, where they claim they are the best thing, have not done what they are told that they were here for. All we see is destruction from America. When it's not from America, it's from the churches. This world would be a better place without America. America has always been the problem in this world since then died Mama take our last breath, the Brittany She. Since World War II, America has been a burden in this world. America make up him story to go around the world and smash and grab and mash up your country. America not like this, you know, economy develop. America destroy it. America not see nobody like this, nobody have oil and can't get it. America destroy it. But because America fix up some story and use in media and get everybody pan inside or get a lot of people pan inside, President Bush, the two Bush, Clinton, Obama, and the whole of them uses, even though for Bush, one we didn't know say a life and the start anyway. But the way how they get the media to concoct the story after calling Colin Powell sit down in the Security Council and tell with the open bullshit what Saddam Diego do to them. What you see the Americans are doing to President Maduro is humiliation. And this is what got the leaders in the Caribbean so silent. This is what got the leaders, not just in the Caribbean, in the entire region, a lot of them so silent. Because what Trump has done is use Maduro to humiliate everybody. To say, this will be your fate. This will be your fate if you don't do what America says. Because you already hear him start threatening Delcy Rodriguez. And I tell her, I say, if she not play nice, worse than Maduro can happen to her, the same thing can happen to her. And this is what PNP will come here. What you name the woman there? How must you come out with a niceties? The PNP say them a call upon Andrew Holness. PNP say, Opposition People's National Party is urging Jamaica government to stand up for and unequivocal support long-standing principles of international law following the capture of President Maduro by the United States. Maduro was captured by the United States force on Saturday, and Monday he appeared in a New York court where he pled not guilty to drugs trafficking charges and that the Trump administration has used to justify their siege of his oil-rich nation. PNP, when I call back Andrew Holness for uphold international law. What about phone of vice? Social democracy. Social democracy and China and Cuba alliance is what Trump going after in the Caribbean. Phone of vice is best here. Wanna call upon Andrew Holness to do. Andrew Holness is going to be silent on this issue. What we are expecting is you to have a voice. So if Andrew Holness stays silent, Uno are going to stay silent too. Uno don't have a voice on our own. If Andrew Holness government collapse tomorrow, Uno is a government in waiting to take the reins of Jamaica. Uno don't have a voice for our own. Uno don't have a voice for our own. Let us in the media call out the government. But uno PNP, uno Social Democrats, uno Chavista allies, uno Maduro allies, uno Cuba allies. Why uno don't have a voice? Wanna call Andrew Holness to do? Andrew Holness is going to be silent. The older we know already. Andrew Holness is either going to be silent or have to agree with Donald Trump. We know that. Wanna call him for? What phone of vice? This is your social democratic ally under attack. No, let me deal with the international law part of it. Since World War II, you have what is called the international rule-based order or the international law as based on the UN Charter, which all countries are signatory to, including the wicked liar America, though they turn a blind eye to their signature in many things. But the international rule-based order, literally though, hangs on the enforcement mainly of America. First thing you have to observe, the international rule-based order is a gentleman handshake. There's nobody that really polices it. It's a gentleman handshake by all these powerful countries as to how we're going to run the world financially, politically, and socially. And then within that, now on the geopolitical lens, you have what is called spheres of influence, such as America, the Caribbean, South America, and so on are their spheres of influence. You have Russia. Russia's sphere of influence would have been a lot of the old Soviet bloc, including Ukraine, where you don't want them to come. China's sphere of influence would have in a them region with North Korea, South Korea, Taiwan, and the whole of that. Now, you have the United Nations where whenever time they have any dispute or whatever, then go to the United Nations and then sit down and then discuss there whether the United Nations or the United Nations Security Council. And they sit down and then discuss whatever. Now you have the big nuclear powers, which is America, France, Britain, China, and Russia. They are the nuclear five. Other countries have nuclear, but they are the legal five. All of those people have a veto power. So whatever you try to discuss in the United Nations Security Council and try to pass a resolution on to solve the problem or do something about the problem, you have one of these three major partners that come in and use their veto powers. For example, let's shift back to Palestine a bit. When the Palestine genocide was going on, there were many resolutions that people other countries try to get passed in the United Nations to do something about the unfolding genocide in Palestine. Everything to do with Israel in the United Nations or America pulls out its veto power, and that thing never see the light of day. You vetoed it, it can't go anywhere. If it's something about North Korea or a country in Africa or so on, China and Russia or will use their veto power to block it as well. So these international body in the frame of that do not work. How they work is based on power. And this is what you see Donald Trump is exercising now. In Donald Trump's dispute with Venezuela, this rightful systems in the international rule-based order would be for Donald Trump to take the issue to the United Nations Security Council for a discussion and try to get a resolution on how to solve the issue. America, where everybody thinks they uphold rule of law and everything, decide that I'm going to take up my gun and I'm going to go in the field and do what I want to do. Now, when you have leading country like America, which is prepared to behave like a rogue, it's dangerous for the entire world. So now that the world has seen America for what it is, are we going to cuddle up more to America, or are we going to sideline America in this world?
Overnight, President Trump reaffirming that the United States is in control of Venezuela after the raid that led to the capture of dictator Nicolas Maduro.
We're in charge.
Trump last night also issuing stark warnings to other countries, including Colombia.
Colombia is very sick too, run by a sick man who likes making cocaine and selling it to the United States. And he's not going to be doing it very long, let me tell you.
So there will be an operation by the U.S.
It sounds good to me.
And Mexico.
Mexico has to get their act together because They're pouring through Mexico, and we're going to have to do something.
The president was also asked about Cuba, where the economy has been supported by Venezuela for decades. Many there now fear the U.S. could take military action in Cuba as well.
Cuba is ready to fall. You know? Yes. Cuba looks like it's ready to fall.
You just wait for Cuba. Their days are numbered. We're going to wake up one day, I hope in 26, in our backyard, we're going to have allies in these countries doing business with America, not narco-terrorist dictators killing Americans.
The Cuban government claims 32 Cuban nationals were killed during the U.S. raid. Trump says they were protecting Maduro. The administration says no Americans were killed during Friday night's raid, but a few were injured. While many Republicans are praising the operation, Democrats and even some Republicans are condemning it. Outgoing Republican Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene writing, "Why is it okay for America to militarily invade, bomb, and arrest a foreign leader, but Russia is evil for invading Ukraine, and China is bad for aggression against Taiwan? Is it only okay if we do it?" Trump defending the raid, saying Maduro's capture will lead to lower oil prices and fewer drugs coming into the U.S.
We're in the business of having countries around us that are viable and successful, and where the oil is allowed to freely come out. Because that's good, it gets the prices down. That's good for our country.
Would you talked about ending American foreign intervention. What changed your mind with Venezuela? What kind of grew your interest in it?
The fact that he sent drugs into our country.
But many noting Trump recently pardoned the former president of Honduras, who had been convicted in the U.S. of narco-terrorism conspiracy. Trump defended that pardon, calling the conviction a, quote, setup by the Biden administration. Now, Venezuela's former...
Well, we're hoping that the next U.S. president in the next 4 years will pardon Maduro and his wife, because we know the kangaroo court in the United States system and Donald Trump led justice system will trump up the charges, will do a kangaroo conviction. But we are hopeful that President Maduro will be pardoned by the next administration that will take over from Donald Trump. But the way Donald Trump acts and behave, it's really how all US presidents should act and behave. Because literally, the United States is a terrorist country. It is a lawless dictatorship regime. In other countries, Donald Trump, if in the East, whether it be Africa or Asia, or what they so-call the Middle East, would have been branded as a dictator. What happened in Venezuela wasn't an invasion. It was a coup. The same coup that they're blaming Abraham Traore and other leaders for. This same America carried out a coup in front of our eyes. Gunboat diplomacy at its very best. Thank you very much for being here with us tonight on Global TV. Lovely to have your support, as always. Please do join us back tomorrow morning in this cold and miserable sleet and snow weather. Forgot what the name of this storm, the snow storm, they were going in the hemisphere, yeah. But once in a storm, I go on, and too pretty. Kind of easy to get trapped in the house and can't come out because of terrible weather. But as a life go anyway, globalists. Thank you all for being here tonight. Elga Fletcher, I'm not able to follow up the comment very well, but me say everybody, I tell you to get well. I join the choir of everybody. Get well soon. And hopefully everything will be okay. Always keep in a positive mindset. That does aid the healing as well. Thank you all for being here with us tonight. Join us back tomorrow morning for your At a Glance program. Thank you and good night.
Too long in our little ghetto, run keep going on, less process. For children of Israel do really love rights. So just a and I as a watching man, I run Babylonian walls. Oh, children of Israel, I should never hold thy peace. What wrong is going on? Hey, oh, night. We gonna bust down Babylon walls. Prepare every the way. Prepare every the way for your people. Let's go. Fight down, war and crime. Fight down, listen Rastafari. War and crime and do the righteousness. Hey, we love and we love Jaja. And we love Jaja. Rastafari, save all people. Hey, we love Jaja. We love Jaja. We love Jaja. Rastafari, save all people. Put time away again. Listen, yeah. Just as I and I as a watching man, I run Babylonian walls. Oh, children of Israel, I should never hold thy peace, but we penalize. Hey, oh, night. We gonna bust down Babylon gates. Prepare every the way. Prepare every the way for Jah Rastafari. Fight down war and crime. Fight down war and crime. Rastafari, war and crime, and build up righteousness. And we love Jah, and we love Jah, and we love Jah, Rastafari. We love all, and we love Jah. Me love Jaja, me love Jaja, Rastafari, preserve all. Me love Jaja, Rastafari.
If you don't like missing out on the latest shows but still enjoy classic hits, then Global TV Group 358 is your perfect match. Global TV Group 358 isn't just another channel, it's your ultimate TV experience. From breaking news to binge-worthy dramas and timeless classics, we've got it all. Our unique blend of original content and global favorites means there's something for everyone. And guess what? With GTVG's seamless streaming, you can watch anywhere, anytime. Plus, our interactive features let you be part of the action. So, whether you're a seasoned binge watcher or a casual viewer, Global TV Group 358 is here to keep you entertained day and night. Don't just watch TV, experience it with Global TV Group 358. Subscribe now and never miss a moment.